Hello. So it's me and Siobhan on the floor next to my laptop. This is the one thing which I've sold today. Today's Tuesday, 21st, I want to say. Yes, we're counting the days to payday. That's what happens when you stop reselling and you become a wage slave. So I've sold that, I think. This is Joe Brown's. I'm just going to have to check. I don't think I've got anything else that looks like that. This is a smaller size Joe Brown's, size 14. So that's taken a while to sell. That's been on since summer. So that's the only thing that I've sold today. I'm going to embrace the fact that I don't have to dispatch today because I do have a 2-day dispatch on now. I should have had this drink before I started this video. So I'm going to embrace that and carry on working. So I have been working. It's 1:30. I haven't achieved as much as I should have done for the fact that it's 1:30. God, I am tired though. So I did some work yesterday after I finished babbling on to you. That's all I've listed. So what have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. 8 things. That's really, really crap. So I've only done 8 things. My husband came back from work and then he was shattered, and after he'd had a shower and the rest of it, he said, I'm going to bed. And I was in a sort of flow, but I was also tired. And then I was just like, do you know what? I'm going to go to bed too. So I slept from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock yesterday. So I had 2 hours sleep yesterday, and I've had a decent lie-in this morning, despite the fact that the bin men and the road cleaner came. So I don't know. Part of me just thinks it is my day off. These are my days off. Monday, Tuesday and Friday are my days off, and I'm doing overtime next week, so I'll be knackered next week. So part of me just thinks, forgive yourself, give yourself some time. You shouldn't be working yourself to the core anyway on your days off. But I do need to get loads of stuff done, and I've done lots of bitty things because I know that I paid so I've had a balance transfer done on my big debt. And then there was sort of 180 quid on there, and I moved some money over, and then I did a lot of faddling around on my banking and the rest of it. You see, these things I want to do, and until I get on top of this, I don't even want to start looking at my financial situation and try and work out what I'm going to do. But that includes me working out what my eBay earnings were for November, December, and now it'll be this month. So, what I've done this morning, I have photographed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. So I've photographed 8 items there. I didn't do the white blouse. I just put that back in the mix. But I decided to crack on and get those things done and try and get those things listed. So that's what I want to do. I've been looking at the stuff which was sort of ending today, because I've ended a load of stuff on eBay because I don't want it to relist and use up my listings allowance unnecessarily, because I want to make some decisions about stuff that I'm going to redonate, because there's stuff there that needs redonating and just getting rid of. And then I want to move a good wedge of things to Vinted. So one of the things that I did want to achieve for January is to actually wrap my head around Vinted. So I have listed on Vinted before, but I've been listing on my phone. And I have now used my laptop to list, and it is 100% easier. So one of the reasons why I hated it and I was getting annoyed with it is because I was using it on my phone, on the app. Now, when I list on eBay, I take my photos with my phone, and then I make a draft listing, and put the photos on something using a cell similar on the app. And then I finish doing it I just sit myself down there and I finish going through it, and I do the measurements and things and write the body of it on the laptop, because I find it's just easier when you're doing it on the laptop. I find when you're on the phone, because you have to keep going in and out of boxes, don't you? And you got to type, and I'm a typist by nature. I know how to type fast, and I know how to use a keyboard. That's the first thing that I learned doing, and this is, obviously it's something I've been doing for like, well, at least 20 years, but that's not my, I prefer the laptop. So having some of the stuff which I've ended on eBay, I have just moved over. Now, I thought when I took the photos from eBay, it would be a pain in the arse. And I know that a lot of people use zip sales, so it shouldn't be I shouldn't have worried about it, because I just thought, it's going to just say, these are, because I've taken the photos from my eBay, it's just going to say, these are web photos, I'm not having it. But it's let me create 5 listings, because apparently I've lost my badge. I had a badge because I'd done all this, but the badge had disappeared. So I've listed 5 items again, and I've got my badge. I've got my badge back on Vinted. I still haven't sold anything. Obviously, I've only done this morning. And I don't know what I'm expecting. I am expecting to sell something by the 2nd of February. And that is because they have badgered me at Vinted, because they know how I haven't been using it. They know that I listed stuff. They know that I got interest in my listings, but I wasn't interested in having long conversations with people about nothing. So I ended up just getting rid of everything, because the amount of people who agreed to buy things and never did, it just annoyed me. I think I've set up my bundle discounts. I've put everything on medium parcels, because that was one of the worries for me. But it makes more sense on the laptop, on Vinted, on the desktop, than it does on the app, because I was confused about what I'd actually selected. But then again, I've gone into the app to work out what postage I've got, where I couldn't find that on the desktop. It's not. I'm getting there with it. I'm a bit more comfortable about it, having used the desktop version. I'm so thankful this radio is on, because it's cold. So I'm hoping that, because I hadn't been using Vinted, they sent me an offer, and they said the first person who buys off me on Vinted will get free postage. So I'm hoping that is going to be the nudge to actually get my first sale on Vinted. So I know I have to be careful how much stuff I put on there. At the moment, I've only got 5 listings live. And I think the thing is so 3 of the things that I've got listed there are actually stuff that my cousins gave me. So some of them are a size 8, some of them are a size 14. The stuff which I sell, which is my stuff, is a size 12 or 14. So I hope I don't get flagged for sizes, because there are actually genuine reasons for them to be on Vinted, because they are actually things which have come from family members. So they're not necessarily like business things. I know everybody's on Vinted Pro. Well, not everybody's on Vinted Pro. I'm not going to go on Vinted Pro when I've got no clue what the hell's going on Vinted Basic. So what am I going to say? Shall I try and just get 30 things off eBay that I no longer want on eBay, and just get them listed on Vinted? 30 things sounds reasonable. I know there's plenty of people who are on private Vinted accounts who don't get flagged, but I know there's lots of people that do get flagged. I mean, what is being flagged? I remember when my brother was very ill, he did have to go into a care home, and subsequently I had taken loads and loads of this stuff. This computer wasn't here then. This was before I was even reselling, because I had a normal job. So my computer was just sat in there. There was no storage box or anything because I was not reselling. And I never sold my own stuff. So I had all of my brother's stuff piled up here. And I put all of his records all the way along here and going round the edge, all in alphabetical order, because it was the only way I could deal with 5,000 records from my brother. And so when I was listing them on eBay, they kept sending me the email saying, we think you're a business. We think you're a business. You should upgrade your account to a business account. Because even though in my listings, I'd actually written, these are my brother's, records. I want them to go to a good home. Even then, eBay were pestering me saying I was a business when I wasn't. It was very much a personal, it was very much personal sales because it was somebody's, estate really. And I dealt with that, with selling them right into him actually dying because we knew it wasn't going to last long. Anyway, this has gone depressing. I've actually cried this morning about that because I had the radio on, the selector was on, and it would have been his birthday next week. No, let's just say it is his birthday next week. And those are the things that you remember because, you celebrated those things with that person when they were alive. So, not depressing. It is depressing. Of course it's depressing. Anyway, this dress has only sold for $15.99. So, eBay isn't great. I've got a load of those 2 blouses with dog prints on, which used to sell for £20 on eBay. Obviously, they don't sell for that now. I've got mine on for £15. And then part of me was like thinking, well, shall I take them and put them on Vinted? They are not going on Vinted because I've looked at the prices that they're going on Vinted for, which is £2, which is less than you would buy them in a charity shop. So, there's no danger of me becoming a mad Vinted seller because it is the race to the bottom on there, is it not? I hear about people making all this money on there, but I know what the value of them used to be. Surely I could get £12 for them. My listings need refreshing anyway. I just feel that I should be able to I should be able to sell them for $12.99 because they used to be desirable. Why are they not now? I've also looked at the Cath Kidston cat blouses, which sell for £30 on eBay and only sell for £5 or £10 on Vinted. So it's the stuff like that which doesn't make any sense to me because I don't understand why anybody would be selling on Vinted when they're going to be losing out. Anyway, no more rabbiting on. I'm gonna print the label for that dress. So I don't know why I've held it over there because I need to put it over here with the weighing scales on. I need to crack on with listing this because I'm not going to do anything until I've got this out of the way, because if I get my boxes out, I want to be able to put stuff on my buffet. This is a buffet, by the way, even though it's always piled up with clothes. I've also got personal items there because my husband's cleared out stuff. I don't know what they are. Oh, they're Goosebumps books, which is, yeah. Saw that somebody got a really good price for a Goosebumps set. By the time I get the Goosebumps set sorted, the prices will have tanked. Yeah. I've got magazines there that need photographing. It's too dark now to do photographs. It's jacking with rain. So I'm glad in a way that I got those photographs done this morning. Because it's too dark now to do photos. Right, so I need to get them that done so then I can start looking at the boxes of stuff which are currently listed. I need to definitely, I still haven't got a decent diary for this year because I want a diary like one of these. I like a spiral bound diary, and at the minute I've only got a tiddly one. So women's tops, I still haven't done a relist on women's tops. And they are as old as the middle of September, those listings. So I need to end all of them. I need to start going through the oldest listings. I want to do dresses. I'm itching to do dresses because a lot of the stuff has come into an end today and I didn't want it to use up my listings allowance, so I've actually ended those things. But according to this, my oldest listings are women's tops, then it goes coats, then it goes jumpers, then it goes trousers, then it goes Lego. That's a lie. It isn't. That isn't a lie because I redid that. So apparently, in November, I did dresses and skirts, and this morning it's been largely dresses and skirts that I've ended, and then it goes men's shirts. So it's all a bit up the swanny, but I know that regardless of the fact that I like to go through these as per the oldest listings, I know that a lot of this stuff, the whole shop needs ending and relisting. I just don't want to end and relist it and use all of my listings allowance, which I think stands at like 35 because I have listed some stuff. I don't want to have to start paying 10p, which I know is ridiculous because I used to pay £95, including the VAT, a month, and now I'm only paying £35. So if you're thinking that one listing is 10p, one listing is 10p. Sorry, the pigeon is trying to knock the bird feeder down again. And I know that I've been saying that pigeon's stupid, but it is actually very intelligent because it's managed to get the bird feeder down. Who knew? It's worked out how to unhook it and throw it on the floor so it can eat out of it. Anyway, so 10p per listing. So 10 listings is £1. So every 100 listings that I have over my 250 allowance is going to be £10. So even if I go 200 over that, I'm paying £55 for the privilege of listing on eBay, which is still less than the £95 that I was paying when I was a featured shop. So I need to get over that. But it just feels like you should take advantage of the lump sum that you've paid. And I feel like I should take advantage of the fact that I've got auctions listings which are included. So I may well chuck a load of it on auction. But all of this has to be decisions that are made now. And this isn't made any easier by not having a diary, because I like to flick through a diary and work out where I am. I've got one calendar. I'm working off. My calendar over there has my work schedule on it, so I can't use that. I've got a planner here from the end of my previous calendar, which I've been using. So that'll do me okay until April. But the diary that I have is only one of these slimline diaries. This is the thing. I don't know, I'm being very much a skinflint in that this, and I'm not like a Peppa Pig fan, but this was £1 in a charity shop in February last year. So maybe we'll get some calendars in soon. You always seem to have some years where it's really difficult to get the calendar that you want. So I have done some relists this month. Shoes, bags, toys, books, hats, CDs, ties, all that random stuff. So I've done some relisting. And there's no reason why I can't use this. I just like my spiral bound one. But I need to get over the fact that this is the diary that I've got. I need to just use this diary, and then when the academic diaries come out for June, I get one then, or I buy one now that's just for June onwards, because I like this diary. Was actually a 1.5-year diary, because this one started beginning of last year, so. I like a 1.5-year diary, and then I don't have to think about it. I like an academic diary because I always feel like I don't like stopping in the middle of December and running out of diary pages. I don't know. Anyway, I need to find a better planning situation, because I do need something written so that I know where I am. But yeah. Anyway, gonna crack on. Gonna get this stuff listed. Gonna get the new stuff listed, the new stuff good to go, and then we're gonna look at the old stuff. So I'll be back and tell you what's happened. Hello, right, we are on Friday. So Friday the 24th, it has been payday. But because I was quite embedded in my overdrive, it doesn't look very good. So this has got to happen. I've got to get some listing done. It is howling a gale. In a way I'm glad that I haven't sold anything, but in another way I am annoyed, naturally. So I did drop 2 things off yesterday. I have had... See, I know that Married to Reselling have spoken about the money which they charged for postage, which they forgot to charge, which I don't believe that they did forget to charge. So I've had this so first they gave me the money back, and then they took it out again. So I was lulled into this false sense of security. So I remember when I was whinging on about returns, and 5 of them I had reported as false item, not as described. So I've had 3 refunds. Oh, brownie guys. So I've had 3 refunds on the postage costs for those returns. I mean, one of them I've got to now repair. So, I mean, that's not great. So they refunded me, and then they took the postage cost because apparently they hadn't charged it. And as the email does say, the postage returns costs, which they forgot to charge for, they weren't going to charge us for, and it was just going to be for postage label costs. So I don't even know. But anyway, they took like £6.50 off me, and then they'd given that back to me anyway. I don't know. I have no idea what is going on with them. But anyway, the upshot of it is, I mean, I'm not going to bash eBay because I love eBay. I just want to reiterate that because I do feel that I have cheated on a life partner. eBay is my life partner. It's like, being, I feel that on Tuesday I've wasted about 2 hours of my listing time fiddle-arsing about with Vinted. So I have put stuff on Vinted. It has gone absolutely nowhere. It's a complete waste of time. I don't think I'm going to put anything more on Vinted. I'm more likely to delete the stuff which I've put on Vinted and put it back on eBay because I feel aggravated again. I did this in August, and it aggravated me then, and then I deleted everything. I deleted all my listings, and now I've put stuff back on Vinted, and it's aggravating me again. So I honestly feel that a lot of the stuff which is on there is going to end up going back on eBay as an auction, because I would rather it was there on eBay as an auction, bringing me traffic and helping my algorithm, than just sitting on Vinted and, having people who, just want to send you messages. And yeah, I feel like that. It's like I felt dirty about it on Wednesday, because I feel like Vinted is just a skanky hoe who is just standing there, who will give herself to anybody in a nightclub, and you can easily sleep with her, but, you'll probably destroy, the decent relationship that you have with your life partner. And that's how I feel. So we are. No more listing on Vinted. Vinted is ridiculous. I just think Vinted is just ridiculous. And I know the stuff which I've put on Vinted has not sold on eBay. But the thing is that everything that I put on eBay sells eventually. Yes, sometimes it takes 2 years. And I never used to give a damn about that, because I used to put it there and just wait. The only reason that I'm feeling it now is because when they did that offer on the clothing, I downgraded to a basic store, and now this part of me is like thinking, oh yeah, I've got to pay 10p. And obviously I don't have to pay 10p, I have to pay 12p, because I was forgetting about VAT, because everything that they quote on their thing is without VAT added to make it look better, because obviously the basic store with the VAT is £35. But even if I was to spend an extra £20 on listing, it's still 40 quid cheaper than a featured store. So I need to just get over that. And I've used all my listings allowance this month anyway, because loads of stuff was relisted naturally, because I have a 400. Well, at the moment I've only got a 300 store because I deleted loads of stuff. But I need to get organised, because I feel disorganised now because the amount of stuff which I've deleted, and the amount of stuff that I need to stock take on. And I'm looking at the floor and it's really dirty, and all I want to do is hoover it. And that's the trouble with me, is I get to my day off work and then I end up cleaning. So I'm going to pretend I don't need to do this hoovering. The hoover is still wet anyway, because I've only just emptied the chamber and cleaned the filter and the rest of it, so the filter is still wet, so I can't hoover anyway, so just forget about it. Right, so I'm going to do some listing. I've decided that I'm just going to use the planner for the next 4 months on the back of my last year's calendar, and I've split the month into 2 so that I've got new listings. I'm going to do 5 a day. I just think that that's sensible. Just do 5 a day. It's 5 days, your greens. That'll get me in the green. That's realistic for where I am with working full time. And then I've got a column there for relists. So I think realistically I need to put the relists on at 5 a day as well. And I know that will stretch things out for a long time, and this is going to really I need to work out the maths. I don't need to work out the maths, because who cares how much the listing is? The cost of listing is what it is. Just forget about it. I am running this as a so-called business. My head is just hurting with everything. I've started 2025 just as a scatterbrain. I know I'm normally a scatterbrain, but I normally know what I'm doing, and I just feel really flustered. So I started full-time hours November. December I've sort of just thought, well, it's Christmas, what can you hope to achieve when it's Christmas? And now I'm here in January, at the end of January, and everything just feels like a palaver. So I need to implement what I want to do. And I need to write 5 a day on there, and I know that I'm doing 5 a day. Those 5 that are sat there, they're actually relists. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. Right, I do know what I'm doing. I pontificated about doing photography this morning because I've got a few little bits which I wanted to take photos of, but they're also Lululemon, and they've also got the tags cut out. There seems to be the thing in my life where I find Lululemon and then I'm like, yes, it's easy to find it. And of course it isn't easy to find it. So I need to take my photos so that I can actually let Google do the work for me, and find what type of shorts these are.
whenever I find Lululemon these days, it always has the tag cut out. Why do they do those snaky tags in them? So anyway, yeah, I just thought, I'll do that on Monday. Now I realise I'm working on Monday, so I'm working Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I've only got Tuesday and Friday off next week because I am doing 5 days. So I don't know why I need to like put, you compare yourself to other people who are like doing really well, but I need to compare myself to the fact that we are here, and there's some people who haven't done their tax return next week, and this at all, and this is what they're doing. They're doing their tax return on this week. So I am not that person. Ooh, make Christmas biscuits. I'm not the person who hasn't done my tax return. So that isn't what I'm like going to be sitting and focusing on. Let's see how many weeks I've got to wait until next payday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have a lot to do. I'm going to do this first. This pile, I can't even read it. This pile, there's 25 things in here. That's getting listed first. Let's just do that. Hello. Okay, so it is Monday. What would it be? It is the 27th. Oh my God, it's my brother's birthday. I feel like I should now phone my mother. Time is 8:20. I have already been out, hence why I'm wearing jeans, and I have got my shoes on. What the hell have I trodden in? Oh, that's probably something from work yesterday. I knew I was walking around with some label. So yeah, I've been out this morning to try and get a parcel, which is, harder than getting hostages out of Gaza. Honestly. So I never order anything. It's sometimes even really good job lots of Lego I end up not getting because they're not on click and collect on eBay. So I only shop on eBay. That's offering click and collect, because then I can go and get it from Argos and I don't have to go into the mystery of trying to get things. A lot of my returns which get sent back gets stolen. So now my husband is like freaking out because he's bought £100 item, which is probably going to get pinched. Anyway, so yeah, so I mean, this is what's frustrating, and this is how much trust issues I have. I've been to the delivery office this morning, and I've got 3 things here to post. Yeah, fabulous weekend, isn't it? And I don't trust them because it's like the Marx Brothers in there. So because they're going to try and so they've tried to deliver it on Saturday, but that's, they would never have brought the van round, because if they brought the van round, they just would have delivered it, because they never ring the doorbell. They always leave it lying around in the gardens or the rest of it. So they would have just done that if they'd actually tried to deliver it. So we know that they haven't delivered at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. We know this. So I've gone to the delivery office hoping that if I was there at the point when they're opening the doors and I was stood there like some moron that I have to deal with at my workplace, standing on the door waiting for you to change the code on the door to automatic, yeah, they couldn't get the parcel anyway. So there we are. I'm having a coffee. I am hoping to get some things done before I have to leave for work, because I am working today. Where I left you with the video before was that I was listing. Now I'm annoyed with myself. I have listed stuff. That's the dregs of it, because I've put a load of it away this morning while I pulled out the stuff which had sold. I know that I'm not listing well. I know that I'm not listing as fast as I could do. There's absolutely no reason why I couldn't get all that done. Like I said, I've wasted time on Vinted. They have allegedly made a sale on there, but of course it's one of those sales where they agree to buy it, but there's actually nobody behind the door to buy it. So that hasn't happened. And then, let me tell you what did happen. Friday, my husband finished work, and then after he'd finished like showering and getting changed the rest of it, we went to do the weekly shop. So, we were in a fairly good mood when we came back. And he went, as you know, this is my, well, you probably don't necessarily know because you don't live here. This is an apartment. I'm limited for space, hence why I'm doing this in our living area. The kitchen is there, the sofa is there, the TV is there, the drink stand is here. This is my listing pile. This is my computer. So, all of our bottles are here. Jason comes in to put one of his new purchases down, and he skims the top of another bottle, and the neck of that bottle flies off. It's brand new and unopened. I say very expensive. It was expensive for vodka, let me put it like this. But they'd obviously bottled it in the thinnest glass possible. So, glass is everywhere over my new stock. And beverage. 3 of the items in this pile are new with tags, so I'm like, I come over to try and sort it, fall over on all of the liquid, which is everywhere. So there was glass everywhere here. I've managed to rescue what is here, but I really need, the fact that one of them was white and beverage was everywhere. I mean, thankfully it was vodka. But that just says a lot about how fast I'm listing and how much stuff I've got piled up. And I need to be more focused. And that's the thing. That's new stock, I think. There's only 5 things there which I didn't list. So I only listed 20 on Friday, it's not good enough. There's also bits all over here. Then, to cap it all off, obviously we sort of like mopped up, but then there's like shards of glass everywhere. So we went to get the Hoover. Well, Jason got the Hoover. But the Hoover, let me tell you about inanimate objects in here which have a life of their own. The Hoover only likes me. It doesn't like Jason. So the last time I think Jason, well, I mean, he has hoovered before, but I remember he was saying that there was a problem with the Hoover and it was cutting out and it wasn't working. And that was back in like April, May. And it's done it a few times with me, but I'd worked out that when I put the unit of the Hoover on the cable, it cuts out. So I just don't do that. And it's been fine with me. Behaves very well. I always wash the chamber out of it. So, I keep the Hoover in tip-top condition. Because we needed to use it, I'd just taken all the bits of the Hoover which had been drying, and I put them together, and I thought, maybe they're damp. Anyway, we put this Hoover on, and it would not go on. So it's absolutely typical. At a point when we've got broken glass everywhere and we need the Hoover's like, well, why should I have to pick all this glass up? But you did it. He did it. So the Hoover would not go on. I mean, you couldn't write this stuff. It's like one foot in the grave here sometimes. So yeah, I think I've worked out that there's a break in the cable, and I'm hoping that it's near the end of it, and I can because I plugged it in at a different plug, and then I put it in at this one, which is like a foot up from the wall, and I think it's that bit that's hanging down. But when that gets a kink in it, that's the bit that seems to go off. So I'm hoping that if I can cut it down and rewire it, I can solve the problem. I mean, I can wire a plug. I'm of the age where I know these things. Yeah, but so I mean, how annoying was that? So anyway, the upshot of it is that I need to focus on things, because whatever was happening last week, I just did not focus. And I did have 3 days. Sorry, my mic is not on here. See, that's another thing. Because this was here, this has fell over, and this tripod has now fallen to pieces. So now I have 2 broken tripods. So the replacement tripod was not very good. So yeah, I'm annoyed that I haven't been able to drop these things off, because this has been a waste of time this morning. And these are the grand 3 sales that I've made. So my eBay is just, it's just rock bottom, and I don't know what to do. I do feel that I've cheated on eBay with Vinted, and it hasn't even paid off. You know, I haven't even had a Vinted orgasm yet, so just a complete waste of time spending time with them. Do you know, I've just heard a closing door. Could that be a delivery van? It is not a delivery van. It is Octopus Energy doing something over the road. So yes, it was the I do know the sound of a van door closing, but it was the wrong van door. Right, so this I've listed in the last few days. So this is sold really quickly. I've got a coupon running, which isn't doing enough. This is a Manx Street Breach's t-shirt, before you think I've like completely lost it. But I thought I was standing in this queue for a while this morning, so that's why I put a long sleeve on. So anyway, yeah, I sold that. $22.99. I've put it on for $27.99, but I've got a 20% coupon on. Joe Brown's dress, size 18 that was. This is sold again, because I previously sold it to somebody, you know, who then was like, well, I'm not a size 8. Well, why buy a size 8 then? Oh, this doesn't fit me. Yeah. So toast. This one I got back in Oxfam. I remember buying this from Oxfam. So I spent too much money on this. This, I think it was like $39.99. I've eventually had it on, but again, they've had a coupon, so it's more like $32. And then, of course, my fees, the fees that I'm paying seem to be considerably more than they ever were. So I feel like I've missed an email where they said, "Oh, we're pumping the final selling fees, final valuation fees, or whatever they want to call it this week." And then I've got some replay jeans there. They've gone for 15. They just weren't selling. So I let them go for 15, because I had this like crazy idea that it might actually like tip the scales and things might actually start selling. But again, I was wrong on that account. So yeah, honestly, I need to pull my finger out. I need to. I've got like an hour before I need to leave for work. An hour and a half. But I do an hour and a half. I can get these done in an hour and a half. I don't want anything sitting around. I've had stuff before when I've been like doing a big listing job, and then I've had stuff piled up there, and then stuff has flown off the coffee table onto stock. So I am aware that these things happen, but if I'm not focused when I'm doing this in a very small apartment living situation, it's no wonder everything is getting hectic. You can see how piled up everything is here. This is chaos. And before, when I was working part-time, I would always have like 3 or 4 hours in the morning where I could get shit done. And I don't have that now. Because I mean, obviously, this is like a late finish, but I've still got to be in for 11. So unless I get up at 6 in the morning, which it is not me, but it needs to be me. It's not really going to happen for me, but oh God, I don't know what to say. I just know that I'm a failure. I know that it's not just me. I know that because I have just watched Andrea Hills' video. You know, God love her, and she's full-time reselling, and she's got a pile of stuff that she hasn't listed. But you see, mine is, I've got the clothing, and then because the clothing's here, and I get the clothing done first, and then
I've got a lot of like bric-a-brac bits, and I've got books piling up. And then I'll do them, and then I'll do the Lego. And then if I'm doing the Lego, then the clothes round up again, and then I move back onto that, and it's just a bit perpetual. And then on top of me working, it's crazy. So the next 2 weeks I'm on full-time hours. I do 30 hours and I do it over 4 days. So I technically have 3 days off, but it never feels like 3 days. I think that's it. You see, I've just worked Saturday, Sunday. Saturday was one of the busiest days we've ever seen in the shop, and the customers that were coming in, I mean, it was like a jumble sale in there. I mean, I went onto the shop floor briefly because we were putting new stock out. We were trying to get new stock out, and we had a bunch of volunteers as well, and they were all wonderful, and we were getting lots done. But it was just like, you were going there and there was just like clothes flying everywhere, and I was picking up all the jeans and I was putting new stock out, and I was trying to tidy it, and a woman came up and actually pushed me out of the way. And those are the sort of people who are in there, and it just winds you up. Anyway, I've put a line down the middle because obviously I'm going off this planner and I'm just going to use this for my listings. So I've got a column for new. I've split it in two. I've got a column for new and I've got a column for relists. I'm going to work through this. I've got 4 scheduled for today. So I could do with like scheduling a few more. I have scheduled some for February because they seemed like they were a bit more spring summery, and I just thought, I'll schedule them. So I've sort of started for February, but there is still an entire week of January left. I don't know where they've found that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. We have all of these 31-day weeks of the year, and this one, I mean, it seems to have more weekdays in it than anything. See, like March is there, and March has got 31 days, but it also seems to have many, many Saturdays and Sundays in it. Not that Saturdays and Sundays mean anything to me, because obviously I work Saturdays and Sundays. Oh, God. What the hell? Oh, jeez. Anyway, let's stop moaning. So it was the 27th of January, which is my brother's birthday. It would have been my brother's birthday. God, what would he have been today? 55? I want to say. I'm probably wrong on that. He was born in 1969. There was a proper like 10 year gap between me and my brother. Yeah, it also means it's Holocaust Memorial Day, so we don't have, some people had more things to worry about than us. I just think that I need to be a little bit more focused in what I'm doing. So when I was watching Andrea Hills' video, she was like saying, I'm just going to do 5 things a day and just pick them. And it is realistic. I think that's the thing. When you're overwhelmed, and if you can get overwhelmed and you're full-time reselling and you don't have to think about like getting up and going somewhere else, if you can get overwhelmed in that situation, sometimes things just become overwhelming, don't they? You see, it's like stupid things for me with regards to the fact that I'm working, and then when I have a day off, I think that I must jump in and get on with eBay. I do things like not get my hair cut. I wanted to get my hair cut in December, and it is horrible. I'm going to have to re-dye it so that it doesn't look like this, because the condition of it is very, very obvious when the hair dye is fading out of it. So I need to like find some time to do that. It is not going to come in the next 2 weeks, because I'm doing 5 days this week and 5 days that week. And the thing is it never feels like I never feels like I'm away from the place because I'm there on the weekends. So I don't really have a plan of action other than I'm going to try and schedule 5 a day. And that's what I want to do. I want to schedule 5 a day, and I want to relist 5 a day. I think eBay is punishing me because I've ended a lot of stuff, because I wanted to stock take and do like an end and sell similar on categories is how I do it. So because I've been ending all of my women's tops categories, that has really depleted my listing totals at the minute. So I've only got like 300 live listings. So I think eBay is punishing me because of that. They probably also, I mean, I'm overthinking it, but they probably know that I've listed stuff on Vinted. I really can't be arsed with dealing with Vinted. I am still going to give them until the 2nd. So they have 1 week to prove to me that they're worth any time. I've asked a few people on Instagram, and people have come back. I mean, I appreciate all the messages that I've had back, but all of the like tricks and tips that people have for Vinted, and I just think something shouldn't be this complex. eBay isn't this complex. I know that people have all these theories, but in general, you can just list things and they will sell without you having to jigger around with them all the time. I don't want to have to like list a certain day because I think that my buyers are going to be available. I don't want to have to keep messaging people like they're weird. I mean, some people said to me that I should like message people, and I did message people and told them about the offer that I had. Didn't do anything. The fact that you have to list things seasonally on there, I just find remarkable, because I've probably sold more summer stuff in the last month on eBay than I have winter stuff. I've piled up with coats and jumpers, and I've been selling linen tops. You know, so I don't know. My energy, if I don't get a sale from Vinted, most of it will be coming down. No, I'm going to end all of it. I don't want it. I don't want Vinted camping out in my head. So it will not be happening with Vinted. I will put some effort into Deop. I will start a Depop shop, because more of my stuff, which isn't selling, suits Depop. And I also got my tie-dye stuff, which, you know, will be a leisure activity that I do, but I want somewhere to sell it. So Depop's going to be the thing. I know that I've got to play the game with Depop and hashtag, and I don't expect to get constant sales on Depop at all. I know that, and I'm prepared for that. It's just the fact that everybody else talks about Vinted like it's better than eBay, and I'm completely unconvinced. Completely. Yeah. So anyway, no more rambling. I'm going to get on. I'm going to list these 5 items here before something else breaks and lands on them, because those cream trousers, I don't want them to become a victim of staining. Anyway, thank you for watching. I also need to edit this video. Hopefully I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll probably just do, I don't know what video I'm going to do tomorrow. Anyway, I need to get my post done and crack on with my day. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Goodbye.